Here we are back again in Bohemia, and I can tell you this much, the world is our oyster. We have our faithful Saxonian vassals. We have just beat Austria into pulp, and we are now considering whether we want to go north-ish into Brandenburg, or if we should push west into Würzburg, or more southwest into the Palatinate or Ulm. And then eventually we probably push east into Poland, because Poland has seen better days. They have a slight bit of Ukrainian problem right here. Though actually for the time being we will be relaxing, savoring our successes, and just enjoying life while we recuperate from the slight wars we've had. They didn't hurt us that much, but they hurt us some. But as you can see, we are getting vassal payments, and we are making a killing on trade, because both Saxony and Austria is giving me 50% of their trade power. Which is very nice of them. Of course I had to kill a lot of them to make them agree to that, but you know, stuff happens. And we have a new Holy Roman Emperor. Obviously another Austrian. We are backing Alsace though as is Cologne, not that that helps anyone. And we cannot become emperor ourselves because we are female. People apparently don't like empresses. And we cannot send a missionary. I want to do the missionary thing. I know there was a this one, I remember this time, which gives me better missionaries. Unfortunately it requires a theologian, and there were one, but he was too expensive. Right here. That's too much. And the reason I want to be able to eradicate the reformed heretics from Breslau is that we actually have a mission to get religious unity, which is taking a long time. I'm not gonna recruit a general, I don't think. No, we're saving up for Tronians. We want Tronians because Austria has them. Military take of 13. We can, however, now afford to expand once again in the department of stuff. And since we're on a trade roll for a little bit, let's build a marketplace in Böhmerwald, I think. Okay, there, build, no. I pushed the wrong button. And now I have more money. Workshop, let's build a workshop instead in Bohemia. Screw trade. Trade is stupid. And we've improved our standings with Hungary as much as we can, which isn't a lot. So that's a thing. Let's see, did we have any? We're lacking a claim here. We're gonna go for a claim on Thuringen just to have it. Just to have it. We have one on Wittenberg, we have one on Neumark, we have one on Würzburg, Nuremberg and Oberpfalz. We are preparing for war. 3-year declared war on Aachen, and hopefully Denmark doesn't get into a war. They've been fairly calm on the war front recently, at least wars they've called us into. They might have been in a lot of wars. They've been in a lot of wars that we've started, but, you know, well, too. So we can now improve the capital. The glory of our capital has long been neglected. No, it hasn't, you're lying. We now have an opportunity to improve the city and make it a beacon of cultural pride. This may prove costly, but there is an alternative solution. We can use the military as workforce. We'll lose on manpower, gain some prestige. Or we'll spend some money to gain some prestige. That's actually quite a lot of manpower. That's like 10% of our maximum manpower. So it's like 20% of our current. And we're trying to build for a new war. So I don't think I want to do that. I'll probably use money. It will mean a loan, but we can handle that. We're quite capable of handling loans, at least on the short term right now. So let's go for it. We didn't even get a loan since our end of the month expenses covered our deficit. Very good, very good. It was a little bit of prestige. We kinda need a bit of prestige. We're somewhat low on it. Should help us with our legitimacy. We're not legitimate enough for people. Other than that, not much happening really. A trader, a statesman, and a spy master. The nobles are worried though, considering our army is increasingly focused on quality. The nobles are concerned that the traditional army loyal to them first and the country second is gone forever. Yes, it is. Go away. Fortunately, they are even more worried that this new model army will prove a most compelling argument against any overly loud complaints. Sadly, we will be losing stability. But there is nothing to worry about. If they want to rebel, we have rifles, or muskets at least. We can shoot them. And while we consider shooting people, we will have to waste a crap load of administration on getting our stability back to not collapsing. Very annoying. We can now get the finest of horses. That's right, so are we going for the finest of horses? Or are we going for Tronians? A regimental camp could be nice, but I don't think... I think that could be very expensive as well. Let's see, where is the regimental camp? Is it pulled up here? Yeah, it's high-tech stuff. And we don't have these yet. No, we haven't built them. We can, but we haven't. We should probably consider that though. And it's better cannons, but I don't know. Improved artillery or improved horses. We already got our improved infantry combat modifier. We're recovering our morale faster. Think, considering we actually have quite a few horses, we got 6,000 horse. So, finest of horses it is. It'll also bring us closer to Wagenburg, which will give us even better infantry. So we've unlocked the finest of horses idea. How steadily those troops take the ground, how beautifully those cavalry form. Look at those grey horses. Who are those fine horsemen? These are fine troops. That's a lot of just random statements. We're doing good. We do have too many diplomatic relations. Let's see if we can figure out what that is. Well, that's the wrong place. There's been a hunting accident. His body has been draped by whom you do not know, in a white cloth now stained red by his lost vitae. They say he was found by his horse in a clearing in the woods. You know the place they speak of. His face is calm, almost serene. You reach out to touch him. The terrible reality of the situation dawns on you. The cold you feel is that of death. Apparently we lost our heir. Are we gonna sacrifice prestige or stability? He is our son, or he was our son. This is a mother's sorrow. And we also now lack a legal heir. Please give me a legal heir. Let's see, we are allied, royal marriage, vassal. That's 5, right? So that's about it. We can't decrease these. Diplomatic relation. The Emperor has enacted an imperial reform. With the backing of the members of the Holy Roman Empire, the Emperor has decided to go through with the reform. He is calling for a Reichsreform. This reform has the following effects. The Emperor gets lower build costs, extra prestige and lower tech costs, while the members get a lowered build cost and lower tech cost. It's a bit problematic actually. That one's good, but if he continues pushing, then it is starting to shaft the members for his own gain, basically, as you can see. The Reichsregiment, that bonuses for the Emperor and penalties for everyone else, and the same thing for every other one, I think. Well, okay, that's a slightly lower stability cost on that one. Yeah. Yeah, and eventually they just eat everything. That's one reason why I want to get the imperial throne away from Austria and onto me, because maybe I could manage to pull that off. Probably not. It's better me failing at it than someone else succeeding. Let's see, what can we build? We can go for this now. Bohemia, trade marketplace. Very good, very nice. And he came home from Brandenburg. We now have a claim on Thüringen. You are going so slow. I'm gonna have to save from military buildings. I make that promise right now. I will be saving for military buildings. I should probably try to build these things, but they're horribly expensive. Horribly expensive. So where do we send our dude? This is always so problematic. Where to send dudes? France maybe? Nah. Spain? Aragon? Aragon's in a personal union, so that won't be very useful. Naples already likes me. Savoy, they're upset, but they kinda like me still. The Ottomans, let's send them to the Ottomans. Let's not support the rebels, let's find the right option there. We'll send him to the Ottomans. Could be useful, you know. Who knows, we might be able to get an alliance with the Ottoman Empire. Would be interesting. Naples declared war on Tuscany. That's not really that interesting. I thought they were at war with the Pope, but that was probably a long time ago. Not much happened to... What the heck? Is it just me, or does Scotland seem to skip from freaking Regency Council to Regency Council. And we keep marrying those freaking Regency Councils, whatever. Maybe they'll lower our diplomatic relations to manageable numbers. I don't know. Ah, there's a child in the reeds. Suddenly, something startles the animal, and before you have time to fire, it is long gone. You look around you, the water in the small creek reflects the sunlight of a perfect day, and the reeds wave slowly before a light breeze. Is that laughter? You realize now what had startled the animal. In a cradle floating among the reeds lies a laughing little boy. Judging by his smile, you'd say that he has never known fear in his life. So we can adopt him as a son. He'll give us a crappy ear, a 112 ear, with a weak claim. It'll increase revolt risk and loses prestige. We can also try to catch the deer and gain a little bit of money. Now I'm gonna look here, look and see. Our queen is 36. If she dies, a noble from a different house succeeds the throne. Those skills, I do not like those skills. 112 is not good. Admittedly, this isn't the best either. It's kinda good diplomatic, but you know, the rest is pretty substandard. That's just bad. And a weak claim on top of that. And we found them in the freaking bushes. But worst case, the House of Falkenstein will be replaced with the House of von Wittelsbach. I don't know. We'll throw him out and hope for a proper son or daughter. And the Lord of Scotland wishes to enter a royal marriage with one of my sovereign lord's dependents. We got a new royal marriage, which will increase the chance of an legal heir. Thank you very much. We can build armories. Let's build an armory somewhere. Where are we building an armory? We're building an armory in Moravia. More manpower. I would like more force limit too. I believe that requires military tech, probably, or ideas. Oh, thank you for convincing myself to throw that bush baby into the bush again and go after the deer. Look at those skills, 624. That administration skill is insane, and that's pretty decent military skill. People are gonna hate him, but still. And an average claim. 0 years old, so it'll take a while before it's useful. And if we're unlucky, we'll get a freaking Regency Council. But that's fine. That's a good thing that happened. And Saxony wants a royal marriage. That might also be a good thing. Look at this. That is some high opinion. Improved relations modifier 195. We need the others to go down though. At some point. You know what? We'll just go for it. I have no idea what counts as a diplomatic relation. Because, you know, that didn't. And Augsburg has insulted us. Where's Augsburg? I have no clue. Someone I don't know. There's Augsburg. They insulted us. They're outraged. Why are you outraged? Just some aggressive expansion and unlawful territory. You're overreacting. Truly. And should we go to war with them? The problem is there's a Palatinate in the way. I'm not gonna go to war with them. They can spout their lies all they want. No one's listening anyway. If they were on our border, I would probably go to war and try to vassalize. And Bochek has returned from Saxony, having improved the relations to 179. Not quite vassal range, but almost. So, where do we send him now? We might as well send him to some tiny dude. Let's see, send him to Alsace to improve relations. We're voting for them for Emperor after all, so could be a good idea to make sure they don't hate us too much. Unfortunately, no one can unite behind anyone except for freaking Austria. What's the problem with Austria? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The Falkenstein is shaken. There seems to have been a misunderstanding regarding the heritage of the great-grandmother of Alzbeta the First. It seems that she was the daughter of a lowly farmer from outside Praha. Yeah, so? Who cares? Whoever our freaking grandmother was, we're still the queen. It's not like you're gonna change that. Let's build a training field in Bohemia. That'll be fun. More manpower. We want manpower coming out our wazoo. I also want to build more military units, but I don't have the force limit. Damn it. That's right, we can actually get our stability back. We should probably use it for freaking techs, but there's stuff in the way. This is useless too. We can no longer claim that Neumark. Oh, we're losing claims. Well, that's annoying. I think it's time to consider... We weren't going for Neumark anyway. We're not going north. That's too Danish. Venice declared war on Austria. That's actually good. We're almost up to very nice numbers. Let's wait for a little bit more money. And then we're gonna pick a target and go fighting, I believe. Let's get us to 50. Moscow declared war on Kazan. Like right about here. Now let's do all the considerations. The Palatinate has claimed Salzburg. I suspect in some kind of rebel related incident. Ulm is allied with Trier, so they don't really have any powerful allies, though the Emperor might join. The Palatinate is allied with Poland, so that might be a very bad idea, though. Denmark handled Austria quite nicely, and Austria handled Poland quite nicely, so I don't think we need to be too scared of that, assuming we can get our allies into the fray. Würzburg is allied with Alsace, Mainz and Münster. It would be nice, and it would only be a vassal. If I go to war with the Palatinate or Ulm, that would be territorial gain rather than just vassalization. Which would also mean... why is there an Austria there? Which would also mean aggressive expansion penalties. Brandenburg. I really kinda wanna go for Brandenburg. They don't have us rivaled anymore, but they are our rivals. And I want Wittenberg and Thüringen. Kind of enveloping Saxony. It would be very nice, because this is basically part of our country. So it's nice and centralized. While this of course is out on the flank. I think we're gonna lay off the Palatinate. Poland's too much of a threat, especially if Austria joins as emperor as well. And they are like 6 provinces, because they got Frankfurt up here. And Frankfurt's also a trade center, so they might have a lot of money to throw around. Brandenburg is an option. They are at war with Venice. I believe they're allied to Austria, so it'll mean we'll get in there again. And Austria is apparently being sieged like crazy. This can't all be Venice. No, they're at war with France as well. Oh, Naples, France and Wales. So France is all over Austria already. Austria's basically a non-entity at this point. I suspect. Ulm basically has no one. They got Trier. Trier, if you feel you need to know. Well, okay, they actually got a few spots here. But they're not really that scary. Especially not with allies. And Brandenburg's not important either. I think we're gonna go for Brandenburg actually. Austria, Utrecht and Bar. We're not worried about pissing Austria off, because we can't actually piss Austria off because they're already as pissed off as they're gonna get. They're not likely to become our friends anytime this side of next millennia. Let's see, we'll recall one of our diplomats. One from the Ottomans. Not really any reason to have him there anyway. So if you could please return. We're saving up our diplomatic power for some fancy peace treaties maybe. Here we go. And we're going to not make this mistake again. We're gonna pump that up. We're gonna hire a military leader because our general died. High shock and high maneuver. No siege, no fire. Could be good, could be bad. We are going to send... Actually, let's assume they're already down for the count and split. Our forces get a new general who's not as good. There. Then wait for, say, 2 months for morale to get up properly and our armies to get into position. That's 1 month. We can now afford diplomatic technology, but we're gonna save those points. Here we are. At the end of the line, it is time once more for war to take Wittenberg. That's our official casus belli. We're calling both Scotland and Denmark into the war. We'll see if Austria joins. They're free to do so. Don't think they have anything to join with. As you can see, there's Frenchmen all over Austria. This means war.